got Zach. Call before he tosses. Go, let's go for it, Zach. That's spinning, that's okay. Yeah, we'll go this way. All right, thanks, guys. Well done, mate.
Well, Lance Whitnell's had a win on a day where he's right under football's microscope today, the Carlton skipper. Carlton have won the toss and they're kicking to the right of screen on a day where so many eyes here at the MCG are on Lance Whitnell. Tim Lane's already mentioned that there's been further developments in that family rift. Greg Swan, the Carlton CEO, will be joining us at halftime to talk about that. Conditions here could hardly be better for this opening bound. Slightly overcast, ground in perfect condition. Huge crowd in for this blockbuster.
Thank you, Andrew Marr. And yes, it'll be interesting to see where Lance Whitnell has lined up. In fact, he's lined up at centre half forward for the Blues. So that's the first big move of the match.
Pleased to see that too, Chriso, because he's a natural forward that gives Thornton a chance to play in defence, also helping on Lloyd.
Michael Vozzo, grand final umpire, sets them in motion. Stevens for Carlton, gives the Blues first use and does it well. Carazzo at the 50. Distance might just be beyond him. Has to kick it about 60 from there to goal. Favola is on the end of it. Good effort by Big Hill, who captained the team for most of last year to take that decisively out.
Jared Waite's pushed to centre half back to take up Scotty Lucas, and I reckon that's fantastic that Dennis Pagan has given his young defenders the chance to play on the stars.
Hill, ball to the back, chance for Walker. Just thumped indiscriminately by Mel Michael. Chance for Whitnell, couldn't control it. Fletcher can. Wiggins feeds it back. Gibbs on the point of the square, kicks off, beautifully done for Vola.
Composure there. Young Bryce Gibbs had the football, didn't panic, assessed his options. He saw a 2-on-1, and it was Favola alongside a teammate, and the teammate put a little bit of a block on to enable Favola to take the mark.
Jordan Russell doing that work, Rob, and Brendan Favola, goalless last week, 3 goals 5 for the season, but as you can see, he's got a good record against the Bombers. This is just a tonic Carlton knee. Opening minutes of this big game at the MCG. Oh dear. It's touched over, so a boundary throw in right off the instep there.
Something you very rarely see. One of the best kicks in the game.
Deflating for the Blues, doing all the attacking here in the opening seconds. Here's Ackland, up and down on the spot. Won't be a mark. Hurd happy to see it over. And all the action has been in that left forward pocket for Carlton.
Well, you can tell it's a warm day. James Hurd without the long sleeves on. Walker got the tagging job on him.
It was quite humid. Ackland beating Hill for a bit of zip there. Carazzo. Mark Johnson has him covered, and Hurd. Still the Blues are a rough chance here, but oh, that's well done for the Bombers by Ryder. And now it's Winderlich to the bootlaces of Lucas, and well collected.
Lucas wheels onto the left boot. Oh, good kick. Peverill away here. Here's a chance. Lloyd one out in the attacking 50. Well done, no helping, but Lloyd slipped him under the ball, run back and kick the opening goal. He misses.
Blues wasting no time. Cloak off to Gibbs in the Walker direction, gave Hurd the sit. Oh, beautifully done by the veteran champion. That was very clever to Peverill, and the Bombers press. Now Lloyd will have another go.
I don't know if Peverill meant the kick, but James Hurd's recovery was just sensational. And we see Hurd in picture. He was here 3 hours before the game started, out on the ground by himself. He had a football in his hand, his blazer, long pants, and he was just kicking the ball around, getting the feel for this stadium in which he's excelled so many times.
Lloyd testing out the 30-second rule that he played a part in instigating. Kicks it from 45. And he misses again. So both teams have started inaccurately. A bad miss by Favola for the Blues. Missed a lot. Lloyd a couple of goes. Still no bullseye.
So Kane Timpson at fullback. Not too much to go to. Oh, gee, Houlihan's in real trouble here. He put that down. That should have been a free kick to the Bombers. Chance for Lovett. He'll kick a goal anyway. Well, he brings it back and does. And Ryan Houlihan arguing the case there, Rob. It was ruled that it wasn't 15 metres. Umpire Vozzo suggesting it's not 15. Now watch the tackle here. Puts the ball on the ground. That is dropping the ball. Should have been a free kick.
Well, they got the goal anyway, the Bombers. Love it, quick to pounce on it straight through the middle there. But Simpson doing the kicking in to Houlihan. It's a costly lesson to learn.
Andrew Lovett kicking the first goal. Umpire Damien Sully bounces the ball. Hill to Peveril. Bombers looking for the clean takeaway here. Won't get it. Stevens. Well done. Kennedy. But Essendon applying tremendous pressure. Heffernan laying the tackle, but he's been penalised for a push in the back. And it's Murphy's ball for the Blues. Placing the kick, not really powering it, but placing it for Hill. Favola was arriving in that spot, but David Hill had it covered. Off to Hurd. And now it's Lovett again. A little bit fancy with that, but had the time and space for McPhee. And now Fletcher for the Dons. Murphy saw that coming and gets another free kick for a push in the back.
And they're off. Advantage Paris. Carazzo finds Favola.
Almost the same spot where he shanked the last one. And Mighty Mel Michael, the man on the mark. Two big units playing on each other. The Carlton full forward, the Essendon full back.
So here he is for his second opportunity. Brendan Favola. This time he misses to the right. Wasn't a great kick off the boot. So both full forwards wasteful in the early stages.
Fletcher to bring it in. Bombers by 7 points. Carlton a 4-3 record over Essendon over the last 4 seasons.
Brendan Favola, 3 goals, 6 behinds for the season. Most unlike him.
This is an old-fashioned takeaway by the Bombers. Just short kick to the big defender in the back pocket, then to Hurd on the flank. And now nicely done to Davey. Between half-back and wing. Lucas pushing up, taking it strongly. 12 goals in the first 2 rounds, leading the goal kicking, leading the voting in some awards. Has made an outstanding start. And here's his old mate, Matthew Lloyd. Filled those key posts for Essendon for a long time. Houlihan well tackled. Pressure still on, but fortunately for Carlton, the ball just crossed the line.
Bryce Gibbs playing on Jetta. Stevens playing on Peveril. Winderlick and Murphy opposed to each other.
Lucas just grimacing after taking that mark. I hope everything's okay. Ackland trying to get put the ball while laying on the ground. Free kick to Winderlick. Now loose player at centre half forward. McVeigh can go all the way here. McVeigh runs inside 50. Advantage Carlton. He kicks a goal for the Bombers. So a bright start by Essendon. They lead in the early stages by 13 points.
Bad manning up by Carlton at that ruck contest here. McVeigh was sitting at centre half forward by himself. No one around him. And just bad organisation by the Blues. And you can see there he is by himself. Nice shepherd there by Peveril. Good finish.
So the Bombers with the first 2 goals of the match. Worrying Carlton. Disorganising the Blues. Ackland to Stevens. Couldn't break. Well done by Peveril. Saw him splitting through. Houlihan. Heffernan's got him. Scotland now. Finally the Blues work it clear. Ackland.
Coming to cloak on for Carlton.
Sitting it up. Whitnell and Favola both there. But from behind, Betts read it beautifully. And kicks Carlton's first.
Little fella be happy about that, Tim, because it was his opponent McVeigh who kicked that goal for Essendon, so he's answered very quickly. And he's just in the perfect spot there for a kick to a contest to take the crumb as it came to the front of the pack where it normally does. And he had the He had the speeds up as he hit that front.
There's nothing like it, isn't there, seeing a small coming forward, just take it off the base of the pack and run into an open goal.
So Eddie Betts answers the goal that his opponent McVie got only 2 minutes ago.
Margin 7 points. Ackland. Carlton have dominated the opening 3 centre clearances. They've won them all. This time we'll get a secondary bounce.
Carlton are playing Bryce Gibbs on a half-back flank on Jetta, and I reckon that's fantastic experience for the youngster to come into the team. He's got all the play in front of him. There's a good shot of him there. He's certainly got some size over his opponent.
Whitnell up in the centre, takes it out. Eventually got it clear. Slattery. Well done, Slattery. Kept working. Oh, Winderlich took a highway.
Chris, they've got Whitnell in at the centre bounces in that area, and I'm sure part of the plan is just to get him some easy touches early.
So Winderlich. McVeigh, he's got McPhee out wide on the southern side, delivers to Hill, methodically working it forward the Bombers. No one goes to him, so he feeds it back. The Blues have got numbers back inside their defensive 50. McPhee, probing kick out wide is okay, marked by Hurd. Still 65 from goal. He turns and looks for Lucas, and he marks strongly.
Seen a series of 4 or 5 short foot passes by the Bombers. That's something that they've done really well this season. They've been able to hit targets. They're certainly kicking more than they are handballing. In fact, they kick more than they handball, more than any other team in the competition. And to do that, you've got to be confident in your skills. And it's a perfect day for football here at the MCG. James Hurd coming off for a breather.
So Lucas from right on 50, hard up against the line, brings it back. What a wonderful goal. He is in outstanding form, Scott Lucas, and Rod got the theory that he actually has benefited from the fact that Matthew Lloyd didn't play last year. He's grown up in that role and is just playing some great footy.
Well, you can just see there, he just stooged Jared Waite, led towards the goals, cut back into space, knowing that Hurd would wait and hang on to the footy. He only needed to get 2 metres in the clear, and the pass would hit him on the chest.
So the young and the old given a breather. Hurd and Winderlich. Hurd's opponent Walker also coming to the bench. Watson with Stevens. Bombers by 13 points. Left footers like that forward pocket at the punt road end. Chris Tarrant kicked a lot of goals there for Collingwood. Lucas kicked the beauty then. Bombers ball. Hill a free kick. He's being dished out liberally by the umpires. Peverill kept his footing. Whitnell didn't keep his, and Peverill can finish this. He should have done, and it would have been a goal to really have Carlton in an early tailspin.
Kane Ackland off. Cameron Cloak on to do the ruck work.
So this time the Blues bring it out of defence through Houlihan. Murphy. Oh, look out, great chase. Kick towards Fisher. Numbers though with the Bombers. McVeigh. McPhee. Good pressure coming from Betts. Well done, Eddie Betts. Congested play. Murphy looking for support. Carazzo. Well tackled by Mark Johnson, going nowhere. Should have been a free kick. McPhee. Good pressure by the Carlton forwards. Chance for Mark Johnson.
Absolutely frantic footy there.
Monfries scrambles a high kick back to the wing. It's all Carlton. And the mark's taken by Fisher.
Terrific stuff. The pressure was mutual. Fisher eventually finding his way out of trouble and not doing badly with the left foot. Ryder had it covered. Needed to hang on to it though. Cloak. It's a strong tackle.
Tackling of Essendon is the best I've seen it for years.
That was Monfries laying a very stiff tackle.
Almost could have been rewarded there.
Hill bringing it down. He's doing well. McVeigh to Peverill. And Essendon with cool heads. Skill and confidence. They're playing terrific footy at the moment. And Lovett now is on the break. Favola chase hard. Well done, Favola. And forced a poor kick. And maybe the Blues can hurt on the turnover. Favola led for Scotland, but Scotland goes the other way. That's a beautiful left foot delivery. Fisher again. And still Scotland is coming. Now Gibbs. Pressure from Davey. Fisher again with the left. It's a push. Carazzo getting into the back of Mark Johnson. Bombers ball.
Great sign to see Favola put the chase on Lovett.
Stanton chips it over the top, and they're away again. This is Dyson coming in for Lovett Murray. Great run provided by McPhee. Now Lloyd again is one out inside the attacking 50. Oh, beautiful double back. He's taken the mark. They've got options everywhere. Little chip over the top is good. Montfries is marked.
Bang, 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 bang along the boundary line. Fantastic kicking skills by the Bombers, hitting targets all the way. And this young fellow with the footy's a pretty reliable kick for goal. Every time Essendon's taken it inside their forward 50, and this is the 6th time for the quarter, they've been able to score.
Well,
the
distance is only 35 metres, but as you can see, the angle reasonably acute. Just slides it across the face, so offline. 3-4 now, the Bombers.
7 shots to 2. The margin could be considerably greater, bearing in mind Peveril missed a comfortable shot. That one from Montfries wasn't too difficult. Again, Whitnell in the horrors. Fletcher helping it to Hill. Good smother. Carazzo, and there'll be a throw in. But the Bombers in the first half of the opening term are looking much the better team. Essendon lead the competition in short kicks. It's fascinating. They lead in short kicks, effective kicks, uncontested marks. They're number 16 on handballs. They're using the short kick to open up teams. And here they are again. Lucas, another hand pass from Lucas. Winderlich let him down.
Sharp when they go forward and unselfish. We're seeing Lucas and Lloyd handball as never before. Gee, that's another short kick, and the umpire says that one's all right. I reckon it was shorter than the earlier one, Chris.
I agree. So he's Scotland in the back pocket. Now he's been called to play on, but he hasn't got anything to go to. So short kick to Gibbs. That's not 15. Now Cloak. That's okay. And Scotland continue to run. Now that's 50 metres. Against Alwyn Davey, just a little overzealous.
Well, Cameron Cloak should bolt down that end of the ground as quick as he can. Don't waste any time. Don't give the Essendon players a chance to get there. You can see Davey, he's almost going to handball. The umpire's got it right.
So Cloak pokes it out wide. Houlihan from just outside 50. Driving kick is close. It's a goal. He's kicked a beauty. So against the run of play, the Bombers have dominated this opening quarter. The Blues sneak a goal back, and the margin just 10 points.
And good play by Cameron Cloak. Houlihan, the halfback flanker, came from behind him out into a bit of space there. He's a lovely finisher of the football, is Houlihan. And the 50-metre penalty, very costly.
Was that Michael Long and Stephen Silvani in reverse from the 93 grand final?
It may well have been.
Mel Michael getting a fist onto it, but probably just behind the line.
Let's see how Cameron Cloak goes in the ruck.
He flew high, but he went early, and the Blues have got the footy. Stevens poking it forward to Favola, almost a good trap. Watson just got a brush high, it didn't hurt him. Now he gives to Hill, who has been very conspicuous. Peveril on his unnatural side. Now he's got a man loose for him. It's Winderlich again. He missed a little while ago. He has time to steady, line them up, and miss again. And the Bombers have 3 goals 6. They really should have at least 7 goals. And speaking of past finals, this brings back memories of the third quarter in that famous 99 preliminary final when they should have nailed Carlton.
Lance has got a kick.
Yeah, and he pokes it over the top to Carazzo. Treading water, not much to go to. He wants to give it back to Cloak and does now as he draws Fletcher to him. Cameron Cloak can kick it a long way.
The umpire's pinged him.
Dangerous now for the Blues too, Wolsey. Laycock and Hurd have come on. They've gone straight inside 50. Essendon extremely tall in their attacking half.
So the ball will have to come back, but Cameron Cloke penalised for running more than 15 metres there.
What Carlton are doing, they're giving Lance Whitnell a chance to have a run on the ball. Now his opponent is David Hill out on the far wing there. I reckon that's good coaching by Dennis Pagan. Cameron Cloke does the ruck work, then pushes forward, gives Lance a chance to play across that half-back line.
Slattery, Monfries now high. Hurd with a run at it. Oh, well done getting back by Simpson. Whitnell getting involved again. Scotland, Waite. Now Houlihan. The Blues bring it out with authority. And Kennedy on the ground, marks on centre wing.
Jared Waite bolted from half-back.
And the probing kick over the top is okay. Standen stands the mark. Gets on it quickly. McPhee in good position. Oh, got up high. Couldn't complete the mark. No free kicker, is there? No, play on's the call. Russell look back. Wishing and hoping. Handball over the top is effective. Stevens from hard on the boundary line. Kicks it out on the full.
Tim, what do you reckon about McPhee jumping early into the back of the Carlton player and no free kick? Have a look at this.
Well, was it a realistic attempt to mark the ball would be the question the umpire asked himself, and would probably say yes, but he certainly went too early. And he didn't really do himself any favours by doing that.
Well, he took the specky last week, didn't he? So he might have thought, I'll go for it again.
Watson, Winderlich, and now Michael. Triple premiership player in Brisbane gives to Watson. Another short kick that set the bar low on the short kick, or have they set it high? Depends which way you look at it. Watson goes wide for Lucas. Whitnell has Lucas for the moment.
Yeah, he's gone to centre half back. Waite's gone forward.
Punishing kick from Lucas. Oh, Hurd did it. Lloyd did it well on O'Halpin. But O'Halpin is nothing if not a fighter. And he fights on here and he forces a draw. Well done by the Irishman.
Boundary throw in as Lloyd and O'Halpin get involved. Cloak, deft tap down to Scotland. Players not getting it clear.
Jared Waite's gone to centre half forward. His opponent's Fletcher. That's put Whitnell now at centre half back on Lucas. Big job.
Cloak and Hill. Give that one to Hill. Watson, good little hands. Monfries. Winderlich in amongst a nest of Carlton players. Feeds it back to Lucas. High kick towards half forward. Well done, McVeigh. Equally well done by Walker. Keep your feet, boys. Walker goes over the ball. McVeigh grabs it. But going nowhere, so about 60 from the Bomber goal.
There's another move by Kevin Sheedy. Laycock's come onto the ground. He's gone to the goal square, so they've got Laycock, Lucas and Lloyd. Thornton playing on Laycock. Tall Essendon forward set up.
Made his debut from memory against Carlton on a wet day a couple of years ago, Laycock, and showed even then with a wet ball that he could take a mark. Well played Heffernan, but Murphy stole it. Cloak, clever. Stevens, nowhere to go. Penalised, throwing it is the call, or incorrect disposal. And it's Dyson's ball for the Dons. Stevens has been under pressure every time he's been near it. Good placement, Dyson. Lucas the target. Whitnell in trouble.
I don't like this. I don't like a man who's completely out of form on the informed player of the competition.
I tell you, I reckon he was unlucky here. Lucas's hands, I reckon, were right in the middle of Whitnell's back as that ball approached. Let's have a look at it.
Lovely kick from Dyson.
No, it was on the shoulder.
I'd leave Jared Waite on Lucas. Let Jared Waite have the experience of playing on a good player.
Lucas for his 14th of the season, which is not very old, and the Bombers lead by 17 points. Well, there were some forearms in the back there,
yeah.
And the umpires draw a distinction.
Yeah, but just at the end there, you can see the hand in the back as well. So perhaps a touch lucky, Scott Lucas. But he's kicked a couple of goals already to add to his 7 in Adelaide and 5 against Fremantle.
And there's Lance Whitnell following Scotty Lucas around. Laycock. Now, you said he played well. Laycock doing the ruck work now, Tim. You said he played well in the wet. You wouldn't expect less from a Tasmanian.
Exactly. Web feet, Rob.
Perfect bounce. Laycock gets it to Hurd. Watson, love it with blistering speed. He's away. Good chase from Waite. Short Slattery off a step. Peveril ran hard from the centre circle. 60 from goal.
Peveril's had 9 disposals, most of anyone.
Clever little pass. Oh no, it's been called a play on. So Heard's in trouble. Gets out of it. Handball to Lucas, little fumble. So a boundary throw, and James won't be happy about that call.
Wasn't 15 metres.
Wasn't 15. So a boundary throw in half forward for the Bombers.
There's the arbitrary side of football judgments. I reckon that's a good call by the umpire. It was barely 10. Slattery mown down, pushed in the back.
The ball's gone on for a goal. Will they play advantage?
It looks as though they might. It is all clear. It's a goal to Essendon. The Bombers lead by 23 points. Joe Watson kicked the goal. There's the push in the back. There's Watson's little kick. Lloyd threw a foot at it. We might have to check with the stewards as to whether he brushed it.
Halpin and Lloyd again getting involved. Scotland and Winderley.
I tell you what, the big Irishman won't take a backward step.
So back in the centre, Bombers in control. Again, Watson. Was the kick effective? Yes. Stanton from about 60 kicks it short. Gee, that was barely 10 metres, wasn't it?
That ball just floated off the boot. And Dennis Pagan, I think you've got to move Lance.
Well, where do you put him, Rob? Where do you play? He started up forward, spent some time on the ball.
Play him in the forward line.
And a look of frustration about that unavailing fling of the arm.
Best and fairest in season 2006, and this time a rare miss for Scott Lucas.
In fact, they're the club's 2 best and fairest, Lucas and Whitnell from last year, but things have changed.
Let's have a look at the Jobe Watson goal. We think it's a Jobe Watson goal. Lloyd had appeal for anything.
Here go the Blues. Carazzo, that's a good kick. Favola and Michael. Michael did it beautifully. An old pro is Mal Michael. Dyson to McPhee. Essendon well in control, leading by 24 points. And it should be more. Fletcher sees Andrew Lovett unopposed, and he has Winderlich in space, although Thornton's closing the gap. But he had to leave Heffernan to do it. And they tease Thornton. And Winderlich's away now for the Dons. And Lucas again has Whitnell off the bit. It is all Essendon. The walls are falling in on Carlton. That's a thumping kick by Lucas. Perhaps a little indulgent from out there.
Well, Matthew Lloyd thought so. He was in the goal square and angry that the ball wasn't put to the top of the square. And this is looking very, very sick for Lance Whitnell playing on Lucas. As I said, probably the most out-of-form player in the competition, playing on the in-form player of the competition.
So Thornton now still in defensive 50. It wasn't a great kick, but it gets the cloak. Loops the handball over the top. Oh, gee. Carazzo perhaps could have gone harder. Hurd intercepts. Now a chance for Heffernan. Needs to pick it up cleanly and does. Around Houlihan. Watson in support. Heffernan. Well done, Dyson. 55 from goal. Off to Lloyd. Long to the top of the goal score. Oh, don't tell me, he's kicked a goal. So, all of a sudden, the margin out to 31 points. And the Bombers have dominated this opening quarter. And there's the kick from Matthew Lloyd from outside 50, which brings up his first goal of the afternoon.
We got a free kick off the ball here, boys, too.
Pushed him in the face, okay? Got him on the throat. No, you didn't. You got him on the chin. You know what happens, mate.
A free kick to Essendon before the centre bounce.
Monfries hit high
right in front of goal. So 2 goals without a centre bounce in all probability here.
Diabolical for Carlton.
Disastrous opening term coming off a 78-point loss to Geelong. The Bombers kick to a 37-point lead. 7-8 to 2-1, 15 shots to 3. Here's what happened. after the Lloyd goal. Heath Scotland getting a hand dangerously high, and Michael Votso are judging it's in the face.
Well, if you touch a player anywhere near the face, you are in trouble. The players know that. Free kicks like that have been paid repeatedly over the last few seasons. What you've got is just massive frustration coming into the Carlton players. And Coach Kevin Sheedy talking to some youngsters and oldsters there. But boy, what an impressive first quarter. It's amazing. They've had 15 scoring shots and they've entered their forward 50 area 16 times.
Unbelievable start by the Bombers. They've won their first opening quarters in both rounds so far, and they've done it again here. Laycock, Houlihan, good little shimmy. Ackland feeds it back. Thornton now. Pressure from Heffernan. Houlihan finds himself in space on the southern wing. Probing kick towards Lappin. Oh, Mark Johnson got up too early, surely.
He rode him. Matty Lappin saying, come on,
no
umpire.
Free kick.
What about a free kick? Can't believe it.
Gee.
Neither can the Carlton supporters. Let's have a look at it. Over the shoulders, in the back. What more do you have to do?
Frustration extending to the commentary box as Laycock gets it down. Michael. Hurd. Oh, dubious looking handball. Love it. Now McVeigh. Bombers out of trouble. Lloyd needs to be strong with his hands. Well done, O'Halpin. Great stuff, McVeigh. Chips it further afield. Gee, Winderlick's been outstanding in this opening quarter. He's kicked a couple of behinds. He's got support. And he pops it across towards centre-half forward. And the man standing there all alone, Scott Lucas.
I reckon Winderlick didn't want to have a shot for goal. He's missed 2 on the run in this first quarter. And he's just sidestepped, cut back, hit Lucas. And Jared Waite has been moved back onto Lucas.
What a quarter by Scott Lucas. 8 marks coming in for disposal number 10. He's kicked 2 goals too. And from inside 50, should kick another. Oh, just misses.
They've missed some easy ones. They should have 10 or 11. It is all the Bombers. Carlton are in disarray. They're in real trouble. This is Bentic. Just got the carry on that for Carazzo, but Winderlick can mop this up as well. In fact, 2 on 1, although they made a mess of it. Montfrey's trapped over the ball now and he's gone. So it's a Carlton free kick. Siren's gone. So a brilliant opening quarter from the Dons. A horror start for Carlton. It's Essendon by 38.
And you can hear the boos there. A lot of those boos are coming from Carlton supporters. 10 free kicks to Essendon, 2 to Carlton. Essendon deserve to have the free kick count in their favour because they've been getting in first for the footy, and Carlton players have shown frustration. But that last ball that went down to Lappin, Chriso, I'm not showing my bias here, I hope, but that had to be a Carlton free.
That was a free kick, Rob. Yes. So that first quarter, Scott Lucas, 8 marks, 10 disposals and 2 goals, 3. Outstanding quarter of football from the best and fairest of last year. Second quarter underway. The Bombers in control. They lead by 38. Peveril, very good in the opening quarter. Leroy Jetta kicked an outstanding goal last week against the Dockers. Feeds it back to Stanton, another who's been in very good touch.
Just amazing, Chris. Young Gibbs has got the job on Hurd.
Kick towards Lucas, who's double teamed. Well done, O'Halpin, but Dyson, free 60 from goal, kicks it into the pocket. Matthew Lloyd is left all alone. He'll run in and kick an easy goal. Well, Satana O'Halpin, Rob, took the challenge, and Lloyd lets him know as well. He took the opportunity to go and help his compatriot at centre-half back against Scott Lucas, leaving Lloyd by himself. And we'll watch it again. There he is, left Lloyd to help Waite.
Well, he did get the fist on it, O'Halpin, but he's belted it straight to an Essendon player who's put it back over his head, and that's a gift goal to Matty Lloyd. And, oh, well, I don't know if you need to...
Is that an Irish jig?
I don't know if you need to do that.
I'll tell you, he might be a bit frustrated because he hasn't been able to understand a word Satana's said to him.
Yes.
So
there's James Hird and his young opponent Gibbs. What a fantastic education for the youngster in just his 3rd game of AFL.
and there's his opponent. There'll be another ball up. Margin out to 44 points. Lloyd's 2nd goal, his 775th career goal. He's 3 short of Kevin Bartlett, and today might well move into the all-time top 10. Simpson on the break for the Blues. That's not a bad delivery, but Carazzo not able to hang on. And again, Carlton fans a little unhappy at Murphy.
Well, Murphy being tagged by Slattery. John Barnes, the Essendon runner, out there giving plenty of advice.
Hill clever to Hird, but no escape from there. Michael bullocking his way clear. That was tremendous. Now Hird just couldn't get the carry to find Fletcher. Scotland needed to hold that. Got it covered now and got support. The hand pass a little untidy for Ackland. Scotland again. He'll have company. Bentic, wait, and Carlton can make something of this. Not terribly organised though. Not much to go to. Fletcher. The telescopic arm just got there. Here's Ryder. Pressure. How did he get rid of it? Kennedy might have been smothered. It was. It was touched off the boot. And again, I reckon it was just Dustin Fletcher.
Gee, Fletcher looked hopelessly out of position in that contest at the top of the goal square. Somehow was able to get a fist on the ball as McVeigh brings it into Hird. Fletcher, oh, great chase for Vola, and he's been rewarded. Great stuff. Will that inspire the Blues?
Well, that's the 2nd rundown we've seen from Brendan Favola. Did it in the 1st quarter on Lovett. And just a bit too relaxed there. Dustin Fletcher receiving the handball from Hird.
Did it well too, just dragging him down.
Gee, it's a good chase, isn't it?
Yep.
Great camera work. Now, can Favola get one off the middle of the boot?
That's 20.
We're so used to Rob him kicking so beautifully. And the first 2 shots at goal, deliberate shots at goal from about 50 in the opening quarter, were well off the mark. Brendan Favola, gee, the Blues need one desperately. This one hangs to the right. And again, is offline.
Bombers don't mess around. Fletcher can't really see anything he likes. Unusual kick, but it comes off. Most things are for Essendon. Heffernan to Lovett. Mark Johnson. Heffernan again, playing well. Stanton. They're moving up in the 50. He heads for Jetta. Peveril there, the open goal. He missed it. He missed it from 3 metres.
Full credit to Lappin. Desperate stuff by Matthew Lappin just to prevent that goal from Peveril. Scotland to Walker. Looking for options. That's a call from Betts out wide. McVeigh though all over Eddie Betts and takes it over.
Mark McVeigh is playing like a man possessed this year, and that's good to see. He's one of the Essendon leaders now.
Ackland and Hill arrive at the scene late. Heffernan. Well, he's over the ball a long time. Wrested clear by Bentic. He was pushed in the back. Again, no Carlton free kick.
Holly's got the footy.
Mel Michael playing on Brendan Favola. Back in the goal square is Wiggins for Carlton. Fletcher being dragged back there.
Hill. Peveril almost threw that out. Davey picks it up. He's got plenty of speed. Kick run down by Steele. Oh, gee, that was crude.
It was just reckless by Brett Thornton. Dangerous. And that's just bad football to give away a free kick as easy as that.
So Davey now from inside the centre square. Lloyd. Oh, Halpin did superbly. Couldn't hold on to it though. Scotland well tackled by Lloyd. And Heffernan can't control it. So boundary thrown at half forward for the Bombers.
Damien Peveril 11 disposals for the Bombers. His opponent Stevens just 4, and there we see Brett Thornton crashing into the back of young Davey.
Bombers by 43 points. Hill virtually unopposed. Bentic wrapped up by Peveril.
No chance and held to him.
James Hird's pushed down towards the goal square. Gibbs has gone with him.
Starting to feel a bit jittery, I reckon, Bryce.
Ackland's tap stolen by Peveril. Hurd and Davey. Untidy football for the moment. Bombers 43 points to the good. Two generations. One proven great, one likely star. Stevens, Peveril with him. O'Halpin again. He doesn't stop trying. Lappin backed himself and Thornton supports him. Stevens. And solid grab from Fisher, who is good overhead. And that's a good pass, and Carlton are a chance here. Lappin.
Good play by Lappin, Tim. He took the ball in the defensive 50, and as Carlton took possession, he just kept running forward. And the veteran, he's certainly kicked plenty of goals in his career. James Hurd tends to play 7 minutes on, 7 minutes off.
And he's replaced by Watson as he was in the first quarter. Thumping kick from Lappin. He's home. It's a goal to Carlton. So the Blues, just their third goal, much needed. They need plenty more of those, Rob.
Yes, and good play by Matty Lappin. As I said, took it in the defensive 50, set it up, and then just pushed through the centre square to become a marking option inside the forward 50.
Dennis Pagan, Gavin Krasiska on his right. And they'll be happy with that start. There's Lance Whitnell still on the bench. Played the entire first quarter, but hasn't seen any action in the second. Ackland jumped early. Eventually got the tap down. Hill couldn't control it. Bentic hard over the footy. Well done. Off to Murphy. Here's another chance for the Blues. Kick towards Fisher in good position. Over his head. McPhee and Fisher. Fisher got boot to ball. Michael concedes for the Bombers.
Here's a man for the rush behind. Michael.
Didn't kick that one through though.
Kicked the most famous rush behind in history. Watson. Poor kick, but finds its target. Davey, who puts his foot to the floor. Heffernan, veteran of that 2000 premiership year with the Bombers. Kick a little untidy again, but Jetta will make something of it perhaps. No, it goes back to Lucas. Peveril there, but Stevens took it well. Now Lappin. Carlton just starting to get something going here. It's almost as though Essendon have got so far in front they don't know what to do next. Fisher again has been something of a target for Carlton. Here's Favola. A long way out, but
he could go the distance, Tim.
He'd be a chance.
And maybe the way he's kicking, he just has to concentrate on distance and not accuracy. It might do the trick for him.
It might be just what he needs, Rob, to really kick through the ball from about 55.
Matty Lappin been terrific in the last 5 minutes for the Blues, setting them up across half-back.
Hasn't kicked a goal for more than 5 quarters. From a long way. Gives it everything, but there's a hook on it. Still hasn't gone out. Now it has.
You all right, Karen?
Frustrating times for Brendan Favola. Had 4 shots at goal, registered 2 behinds, and a couple that didn't find the target at all. Hill props in front. Watson couldn't control it. Peveril, oh, is he taken high?
Too high. It wasn't against you, Nick. You didn't see it, mate. You got to work hard. Thank you. That's all right, Nick. Come on, Nick. Just try.
Watson, who replaced Hurd, short to Fletcher. So the Bombers now just looking to regroup. General play advantage at the moment with the Blues. Michael.
Thanks, Brendan.
It was a blistering opening quarter though by the Bombers. Kicks inside the centre square. Ryder needs to stand his ground. Oh gee, don't know about that. Didn't seem to hold it long enough, but paid the benefit of the doubt. Patrick Ryder, young man that Kevin Sheedy has high hopes for. Ultimately to play at centre half back for the Bombers. Kick out wide. McPhee drifted down from half back. Has got it. 65 from goal. On the lead. Big laycock up. Well done by Ackland. Got a fist in there. And boundary thrown, which you'll be happy with.
Gibbs, after picking up Hurd, is having a breather. Bombers attacking. Laycock rucking. Ackland got rid of him. Drew the high tackle. Advantage called now. Houlihan to Scotland. And he has Gibbs, who's just come back. He was only off for, well, no more than a minute. And he can help Carlton set up here. Kennedy hasn't had a big impact thus far. Blues trail by 36 points. Favola one out with Michael. Michael comfortably. Favola's got two fullbacks against him, and he's not making a bad fist of it. Lappin lets go with the talk.
Yeah, he let go with the talk, Tim, because there was no one down there in the goal square. The only way he'd make the distance was if he struck a talk perfectly, which he didn't.
He clipped the behind post, so it's out on the full.
Well, I don't know about that. Brad Fisher was lurking at the top of the goal square. He didn't look too happy with the Lappin kick. The Bombers bring it out now. Heffernan. Montfries will mark on the southern wing, so Bombers looking to get something going. Their play hasn't been as fluid in this second term. Well done, O'Halpin. And it's been on all afternoon between O'Halpin and Lloyd.
There's no need to come back anymore. No need to come back anymore. That on the ball's out of bounds.
So umpire Nichols just having a quiet word. Free kicks, gee, well and truly in favour of the Bombers. Hence the boos at quarter time by the Carlton fans. Houlihan, nice little sidestep. Kicks it to the top of the square. Favola with the set. Almost couldn't quite hold on. At ground level, Heffernan. And they lock it in, so Carlton in a goal scoring part of the ground, just 20 metres from their goal.
Essendon just getting numbers back there. Like, how many times have we seen Favola 1 against 2, 1 against 3? And it's good defensive play by Essendon's midfielders. They really just bolt back there to help out.
Kennedy, Michael, around Betts, off to Heffernan. And the Bombers out of trouble for the moment. Out comes Lucas. Good fist from Waite. Scotland, here's a chance. His handball behind Houlihan. Picked up though by Waite as he backs his own poor work up. Betts couldn't get it clear. Still there a chance, the Blues. McPhee tries to knock it through. Couldn't. Betts keeps it in. Fisher kick a goal. No, he's missed it. Pressuring hard though, Carlton, which you'd be happy to see, Rob Walsh.
Yeah, bit of run there, Chris. Certainly the spoil put on by Jared Waite, then he followed through all the way to the goal square.
And a chance for Carlton again. It's Carrazzo this time, ever so casually. He curls it back, splits the middle, and the Blues are finding something. Two goals to 1 for the quarter for Carlton. A defensive error by the Dons. And Carrazzo, despite Favola's entreaty.
Well, as easy as you like, he just dangled the ball on the boot and hooked it around. Carlton's second goal for the quarter. Essendon have just kicked the one.
Margin got out to 44 points. It's now 29. Laycock favoured by the bounce. Pepperell head over the footy. Winderlich, slick hands. Watson. Kick run down by Clayton. Well done. But Watson gets it back. Kicks it towards Lloyd. Well done, no help it again. Hurt front and centre. Lucas. Oh, he'll kick a goal from here, Scotty. He has 3. And a quick reply by the Bombers. Margin back out to 35 points.
And the veterans all taking part in that. There's young Watson, puts it forward. Lloyd doesn't take the mark, but takes 2 opponents. Quick handball by Hurd. And the man in hot form to finish off.
Scott Lucas's 3rd goal. It was as though the Bombers needed the spur of a couple of Carlton goals to get cracking again. Jobe Watson started it with that brilliant weaving run out of the middle. I was waiting for him to jump over a fallen player and run in and kick the goal himself.
Well, thanks, guys.
So much did he look like his father in that famous scene a few years ago.
Thanks, mate.
Out at Waverley. Remember that, Tim?
Bombers won the night final that night, as I recall, Rob. Carlton, of course, the reigning champions, but it doesn't count for much once the real thing starts.
Quickly forgotten Waverley, isn't it?
Make sure you try and knock it out.
What a magnificent stadium here. Last night, over 70,000 people. Big crowd here today.
Michael Vozzo bouncing the ball well. There's a free kick. Carlton's way.
Carlton supporters are happy about that.
Some holding. Nick Stevens' ball. Stevens has had 8 uses so far. Gives to Russell. Goes for Favola again. The fullbacks double team him. Fletcher and Michael Walker. Cleverly done by Andrew Walker. That was a brilliant goal. A brilliant effort.
Well, maybe the advantage is that Favola attracts a couple of opponents. That means that there's got to be extra Carlton players at ground level. Andrew Walker started this game on James Hird in the midfield. And we've seen Carlton's last 2 goals from that side of the ground with the ball angled, and they are deliberate kicks and wonderful kicks by Carazzo and Walker.
Dustin Fletcher having a break, and what about this goal from Andrew Walker? Fantastic stuff from hard up against the boundary line. So back in the centre, Carlton continuing to press. Both ruckmen up early. Murphy. Indiscriminate handball. Mark Johnson has Peverill in support. Oh, his handball too slick for her, but he was able to gather it eventually. Now Winderley. So often today has run forward, creating something for the Bombers. Lloyd at the back, O'Halpin in front, couldn't take it. Lloyd's got it now. Lucas, has he ridden forward? The umpire calls play on.
Well,
no, the non-officiating umpire there, umpire Nichols, has come from the centre of the ground to pay the Essendon free kick. Jared Waite not happy.
And have a look at Jared Waite. He is filthy. There's Lloyd. That's not it. Spills out to Lucas. Is he caught over the shoulder?
Left arm of Jared Waite. That's the arm that umpire Nichols saw from 60 metres.
Michael Vozzo, the senior man out there, was patrolling the play, but umpire Nichols from up in the mid-zone made the call.
So Lucas now, what a start he's had to the season. He's kicked 3 goals, 3 today from 25 metres. Has missed.
Karma.
Simpson brings it back for the Blues. The margin is at 30 points. It's not out of reach if Carlton could find some cohesion.
Well, a bit sloppy by the Blues. Simpson's kick not as accurate as it should have been over the top of Thornton, and then the fumble.
Plenty of football left in this second quarter. Throw in dropping a little short. Laycock did well. Watson just couldn't accept it. Love it.
Oh.
Getting rid of Waite. Lucas very one-sided. Did it well. Peverill, another left footer. Goes bang. And he too misses. Really, this is a litany of kicking errors in front of goal by the Dons. 9-12, and well, they really should have 13 or 14 goals.
Houlihan marks the kick in. Directing traffic straight down the centre. Oh, big leap from Mark Johnson. Did he interfere? No. Free kick paid there. Lucas has it again. Punishing kick to the goal square. Oh, by himself, Andrew Lovett. You won't miss that one. So the Bombers turn it over in the midfield. And Mark Johnson perhaps lucky not to give the free kick to Cameron Cloke there, but Lucas, great vision, lifting the eyes and seeing Lovett all by himself. And a very easy goal to Andrew Lovett.
Well, Scotty Lucas just in fantastic form, and good to see him working defensively, because his defensive work put him in the middle of the ground to set that up.
Don't see too many goals like that kick these days, where the defence has sucked up the ground and there is a basket hanging forward, just waiting for the long bomb, which Scott Lucas provided to Andrew Lovett. Well done by Carlton. Cloak to Murphy. The breakaway, the long ball. Walker is there and can't quite get a second bite at it. And he doesn't get a free kick.
Ruck work of Cameron Cloak, excellent.
Gee, there was something going on behind play there. Walker and McPhee as the Bombers bring it out. Hurd to Ryder.
This young fellow with the footy is going to be a very good player. He's tall and he's also athletic and good at ground level.
Lucas again taking mark number 9.
Thank you. Right on it.
Coming in for his 16th disposal at centre-half forward. Lloyd up the ground.
Make good space for each other, the Bombers. Then they run into the space, and that's why we're getting a series of these short passes. #1 short passing team in the comp.
And Winderlick finds McVeigh, who spent most of the afternoon in defence.
And they are prepared to take the ball along the boundary line. They'll get the ball near the boundary line and their players will run into the middle corridor, and then they open up the space, and then you'll have someone bolt from that corridor out towards the boundary line.
So McVeigh opens up the angle for himself and kicks a beautiful goal. So the Bombers have their 11th goal, 11-12, 78 to 5-6, 36.
Well, it was just a wonderfully constructed goal because it came with a series of short passes, space made, players leading into the space. This is a very well-drilled team. It's obviously something that they've been working on all over summer and coming to fruition.
This was a little earlier. Walker and McPhee, and there was a hand in the face there. McPhee attempting to draw it to the umpire's attention. Didn't really matter in the end. The Bombers have said enough of the nonsense, and they've kicked away to a 42-point lead. Scotland kicks for Kennedy. Ryder the spoil. Did it well. Peveril. Kennedy. Ryder still going. Murphy. Stevens. And Carlton could do something here. A long way out. Walker and McPhee wins that decisively.
Scotty Lucas has got a new opponent. It's Brett Thornton. He's the man I would have liked to have seen start on him. He's had Waite, he's had Whitnell, he's had Waite, and now he's got Thornton. I reckon Thornton is the man to go with him.
That's what is ahead of McPhee.
And play on, play on.
Pokes it out wide into the path of Hurd. Got it just inside. A little over the top kick, looking for McVeigh. Boundary throwing on the centre wing. There's the champ, 4-time best and fairest winner, Brownlow medalist for the Bombers.
I think you could see from his movement then, though, that he's not quite what he once was.
Short boundary throw in. Mark Johnson, Slattery. Now Peveril's been very good this afternoon. Off to Monfries. Out comes Lovett from the goal square. He's pushed out by Houlihan. Oh, free kick to the Bombers. Houlihan can't believe it.
You can't argue that one. You can't argue it. Straight back.
I reckon they've had a rough trot with the umpire decisions. It's there. It's a free kick. But we don't see them all paid. That's the frustrating thing.
That's right. It's inconsistent and it's frustrating. And I reckon, honestly, does anybody in football think that's worth a free kick?
No. It's a
We've got to
shocking
voice
rule.
our protest.
Well, it's a shocking rule, and it's inconsistently paid as Lovett kicks a goal. And Ryan Houlihan still just shaking his head in disbelief. Under the new rule, there's the free kick. And 50 metres as well.
Well, there's no doubt there's a hand in the back, but
just been watching Lance Whitnall for the last 25 minutes, boys. He's cutting an extremely forlorn figure on the bench. They're rotating players on and off the ground all around him. He hasn't seen any game time in this quarter, and interestingly, he's already been benched 6 times in 2007. He was benched 6 times for the entire 2006.
The Bombers had their biggest lead of the day. Was that a push? Yes, it was. Carlton fans would think too little, too late. O'Halpin takes the free kick for the Blues. Thank goodness it was paid. There might have been a riot. But the previous one, really, it underlines, it illustrates perfectly what an overreaction, the implementation of this inflexible black and white rule to a game that traditionally has been umpired by interpretation really is.
That's an interesting one. Dustin Fletcher has come onto the field and he's playing in the forward line for Essendon.
Laycock versus Ackland. 4.5 minutes left in the half. Ackland winning the contest, giving to Carazzo. Simpson trying to get to the drop, but beaten to it by Davey. His brother, of course, is well familiar with this ground. Young Elwyn strutting his stuff. Here's Hurd for Lloyd. O'Halpin attacked the ball, did well. Lloyd tried to finesse. Heffernan coolly to Lloyd, wanting to balance on the left, put himself under pressure. And for all the goals the Bombers have kicked, the star spearhead and captain has only managed a couple.
So the Bombers in goal-scoring region, forward pocket. Laycock reaches over the top. Dyson couldn't control it. Stevens over it. Was he pushed in the back, or was he going to be penalised? No, the umpire put whistle to mouth, didn't pay it. Heffernan crashes in. Fletcher now. Snap around the body. Has he got the carry? Oh, Halpin infringed on Monfils, I thought then. No free kick. Chance for Lovett. Wheels onto the left boot. Tries to draw it back. Can't. They're all contest in the goal square. Well done.
The umpire's gone down.
Lloyd's got it. Pushed in the back. The umpire couldn't see it because he was lying on his back.
The umpire's done a somersault and gone completely over.
Oh, he's hurt too, umpire Nichols.
And I'll tell you what, he will not get any sympathy from anyone in the crowd.
With their hands in the back.
There were no hands in the back.
Blues just need to force this through somehow.
Let him out of Laycock, you've got to let him get a run. Oh.
Jason's the name. And well done by Thornton, third man up, reaching over the top, conceding a behind.
He's hurt the back, the umpire. We might have to... let's have a look at the umpire go down here. He's crashed into a Carlton player and hit the deck. Jared Waite.
That was an interesting one, bearing in mind the controversy about players running into umpires. The umpire ran into the player.
Yes,
that's right.
Which shows that it can unwittingly happen.
And also, half-time cannot come quick enough for umpire Kieran Nichols.
Hey, still not a hair out of place, though.
Well taken by Waite. Kept his balance and cool. Took it at the second bite. Carlton on the break. Wiggins. Favola one out. Good hands against Michael.
Now he'll have a shot, but Lance Whitnall has just come on at the 29-minute mark of the second quarter, and you'd wonder why. Why keep him on the interchange for 29 minutes?
Favola goalless so far. Has kicked 2 behinds. A couple of other attempts haven't been that successful. From outside 50, launches this, and finally he's made good contact. He kicks his first.
Great work here from Wiggins, and lovely weighted kick, and very strong hands coming from Brendan Favola. Mel Michaels applying plenty of pressure, but great stuff there by the Carlton full forward, and finally kicking straight.
And there's Lance, who's just come on. First time in this second quarter. He's had 1 kick and 1 handball. Started in the forward line, played a little bit in the ruck in the first quarter, even went to centre half back.
7 goals the Essendon advantage. Murphy has been busy.
Knock it out. Come on.
Did you lose faith in a lot of players when you were coaching Wolsey?
Lose faith in them? Oh, you do, but I don't think it helps him just spending the whole quarter on the interchange, and I don't think it helps him putting him on a bloke like Lucas, who's red hot.
Mark Johnson hacks it out of the centre. O'Halpin prevents Lloyd from marking, then finds the footy. Whitnell to the cheers of the Carlton fans, off to Carazzo. Can they get a late goal? Great chase from Davey, and the kick as a consequence affected. Kennedy couldn't control it. Mark Johnson has dragged down. Oh, brilliant gather from Mel Michael. Couldn't dispose of it though. Bentic sweeps it forward. Oh, Favola can kick a second here. He drives it low and hard. Another one for the Blues. Favola's kicked 2 in 2 minutes and given the Blues some hope as they narrow the margin back to an even 6 goals.
Well, it's a 5-goal quarter to each team, and just some good pressure there put on Mel Michael. And all Carlton supporters and players will be buoyed by the fact that the Fed has got a couple of quick ones. And also good to see Lance get an effective touch there at halfback, hit the target with his kick. So some positives there for Carlton.
Bear in mind on the Whitnell crisis, as it were, that 2.5 senior games back, he was Carlton's best and fairest player. Played 2.5 home and away games since then. Bentic tied up by Slattery, so a ball up. It's been 5 goals each in this second term. Carlton have kicked 5-6 to Essendon 5-4, so they've won the quarter, but still trailed by 36 points. Half-time not far away. During the break, we'll have Greg Swan, Carlton's relatively new CEO, as our guest. And there's plenty to talk to him about.
Whitnell's now doing the ruck work. Ackland's pushed to the half-forward line, so Dennis Pagan giving Lance a chance to run into the game.
Watson can't get out of the traffic. Whitnell squeezing it to Betts, to Walker. A late goal just might give Carlton something to hang their hats on, and Lappin's the man to kick it.
Well, Lance involved in a couple of passages there, Chris.
Yes, great to see. And you've asked the question, Rob, why bring him on late in the quarter? But just a couple of touches may give him the confidence to be able to show some real form in the second half.
Freshen him up.
Matthew Lappin, a noted goal kicker a few years back. Not quite as reliable as he once was, but he still knows how to do it. And the margin is back to 30. Lappin's second goal, both kicked in this quarter. A 6-goal quarter for Carlton after a horror start. Essendon kicking 7 goals to 2 in the opening term.
It's been a good effort by the Blues. They looked completely out of sorts in the opening quarter. 7-9 to 2-1 it was at quarter time.
Kevin Sheedy's, I won't say he's panicked, but he's loaded his back line for this last centre bounce. There's only, well, not much time left. You can see Essendon has got multiple numbers back in defence, and Essendon at this stage have only got 2 players forward of centre. So he just doesn't want Carlton to get another one.
Bounce favours Hill. Watson can't get it clear. Wrestled off in pot. Bentic, well done. Gibbs hacks it forward. Ryder in good position.
Jesus, steady play of Paddy Ryder.
After Heffernan, Davey stretches and marks on southern wing. Chips it over the top. Hurd. Is there time? They need a mark. Oh, gee, it wasn't the greatest of kicks, but maybe it was. Intended perhaps for Lovett, who marks on the boundary line. And the siren will sound. Oh, he plays on. So that is half-time at the MCG, and well done to the Blues hitting back in that second term. They trail by 38 at quarter time. The margin going into the long break is 30 points in favour of the Bombers.
Yes, absolutely. Carlton terrific last 10 minutes. Carlton kicking 6 goals for the quarter. Essendon kicking 5. Whitnell getting a couple of handy touches. Brendan Favola getting a couple of goals just before half-time. Stevens coming into it with Lappin. Some positive signs for the Blues. Russell going back.
And Waite will take the big fellow, Laycock. Second half underway at the MCG. The bounce favouring Kane Ackland, but the tap favouring Winderlich. To Fletcher. A mongrel of a little dab pass, but it's okay for Stanton. Been in the top 4 of the best and fairest the last 2 years, Brent Stanton. Waite to Thornton and Scotland. Always a big possession earner for Carlton. Good delivery. Lance just couldn't hang on to it. He needed that. He gets a dead heat in the end. There'll be a throw-in.
I reckon he's enjoying that run out at half-back. Toughest position to play, I think, is fullback. The pressure's on you all the time.
Whitnell beaten by Hill. Peveril, good little give. Stanton, looping handball. Oh, Dalby didn't want to know too much about that, did Alwyn Davey. Murphy got it to Bentic. Back to Murphy, who was taken high, so he'll get the free kick.
Settle. No advantage. It's coming back. Mark Murphy's kick. It's a high tackle. Thank you.
I think the go-go gadget arms got him.
Yeah. So Mark Murphy has been busy. Long kick. Target for Vola. Oh, good fist from Michael. Timed it to perfection. Stevens. Oh, Murphy just had a little look there. Couldn't take the footy. Betts. Back to Stevens. Stevens wants his right side. Oh, he tried to take on the tackler. It was a brilliant tackle coming from Andrew Lovett. And he's rewarded with the free kick at half-back for the Bombers.
Oh, it was probably worth a try from Stevens.
Gee,
Just
it's a
didn't
great
quite
tackle.
make it. Stanton takes it wide. Hurd and Houlihan will duel, and Hurd, he's got the smarts, has James Hurd. That's a shocking kick from McPhee off the left. Hurd might mark it now. It just went to 15. Long way up. Didn't cover a lot of ground. Winderlich. Lloyd back to Winderlich. Good move this by the Dons. Probing ball. Waite has Laycock out of position. Took the safe route. The margin 31 points.
So the Blues now bring it out. Walker spots a couple of targets inside the centre square. One of them's Fisher. Needs to keep it moving. He does. Lead provided by Stevens, who marks. Too far out to score. Wheels onto the right boot. Drives it low and hard. Great kick finding the chest of Matthew Lappin, who was a real spark for the Blues in the second quarter. He kicked a couple of goals and really provided an alternative target up forward than that of Brendan Favola. 3 marks and 6 disposals and a couple of goals, as I said, to Lappin's name.
And a terrific passage of play by Carlton. Bringing it in from full-back was Jared Waite, and just a procession of accurate kicks, marks, and finishing off now with this shot at goal.
Lappin brings it back and kicks a goal. So the Blues now have kicked the last 4 goals in the game, and after the Bombers led at the 25-minute mark of the second term by 48, the margin's back to 25.
And Nick Stevens playing as a permanent forward for Carlton. He was beaten in the first half playing as a midfielder by Peveril. Peveril still playing on Stevens, and I think that's a good move by Dennis Pagan.
Matthew Lappin is a natural goal kicker.
Started there, didn't he, with the Saints?
He's kicked 3 and he's providing some spark. Carlton, extraordinarily, are close enough, if good enough.
Well, Dennis Pagan has put Houlihan in at the centre bounces.
It's okay, guys.
And now Ackland's pushed forward. That means that Whitnell now becomes the ruckman for Carlton. Whitnell will contest this against Hill. But Stevens, you can just see Stevens' right of picture. He's been playing as a permanent forward on Peveril. Dennis Pagan has made some good moves.
Hill the hand on the ball, but Stevens saw it coming. That was beautifully done. Lappin and McVeigh. McVeigh half winning the contest, but it's not over. Lappin held him up well. Good pressure from the Blues. Michael brought to earth. Got it off to Davey. He's got some toe, and he had a good shepherd from Heffernan. Just getting a little ambitious. Stanton gives it back with a well-weighted ball. Was that in the back? No, apparently not. McPhee. Now Murphy. Gee, they're letting it go here.
Gee, it was pushed in the back.
There were pushes in the back. There were high tackles. And there'll be a ball up.
Straight back, thanks.
Just need a whistle and a free kick.
Was this in the back?
Absolutely.
So a ball up in the centre of this famous ground. Whitnell almost got a hand in there. Carazzo handballs it forward to a couple. Scotland, can he get an accommodating bounce? He does. Chips it back. Dangerous position here. Fisher needs to turn and mark, and nick of time. And Brad Fisher will kick from 30 metres directly in front, quite incredibly, to narrow the margin to just 19 points.
Well, Dennis Pagan's made some terrific moves. Houlihan into the midfield, Stevens to the half-forward flank, Whitnell virtually the ruckman after Kane Ackland does the centre bounce. And they've got one of their best players, or better players over the last couple of years, Cade Simpson, yet to get a touch of the footy, so he's got to improve.
So Fisher comes in and kicks one. The Blues now with the last 5 goals in the match and the margin back to 19 points.
Well, Tim, you and I kept the faith. Andy Marr didn't.
Oh, Wolsey never jumped off Wolsey down here.
You said the dark clouds were heading to Princes Park.
Oh, I thought Tim asked about the sunshine.
Oh, gee, I feel a bit uncomfortable sitting in this blue environment.
There's a shot of Cade Simpson, and he's copped a whack to the head. He's got the Vaseline on the cut. Yet to get a touch, but he's been one of Carlton's best players over the last 3 years. He'll come good.
Extraordinary. This 19 points is the margin. The Blues are winning the midfield battle. Hurd to McPhee. Heffernan, Davey. Nowhere to go. Carlton is swarming now. This looks good for the Blues. Houlihan's away. He's got Ackland short. Uses him. Takes it back from him. And delivers perfectly to Favola.
What a turnaround.
7 or 8 minutes before half-time, you could not have imagined this.
30 seconds is running. 30 seconds is running.
Ryan Houlihan, indefatigable in his midfield role.
Carlton have never come back from facing a deficit of 48 points in their history to win a game of football.
Came back from 44 one day in a big final at the MCG. Favola
Can't remember it.
has cut the margin to just 13 points.
Gee, it's great hands from Favola, running full tilt, arms extended, and a wonderful finish. Carlton now with the last 6 of the match. Well, Brendan Favola hadn't scored a goal at the 29-minute mark of the second term. We're 7 minutes into the third and he's kicked 3. The margin, unbelievably, is just 13 points. Hurd trying his very best to try and get the Bombers on the move again. Murphy's been very good. 14 disposals for the young gun. As Joe Watson prepares to come on, he'll replace James Hurd if the first half is anything to go by. Simpson knocks it forward, knocked back by Mark Johnson. Hill jams it on the boot, long. Free kick.
All over him. No.
Satanta not happy.
No, your arms are all over him. Over his shoulders, mate.
Satanta's just learnt one of the oldest rules in the book. It's called all over him.
Let's have a look at it. Oh, didn't look good, yep. Free kick there. So Matthew Lloyd has kicked a couple, an opportunity from just 30 metres directly in front.
He did it well, Matthew Lloyd. He pushed back, he made contact, and the inexperienced Carlton defender, arms all over the neck of Lloyd. Carlton supporters furious because they reckon they've had a raw deal in the free kicks. It's 16-8.
So Matthew Lloyd has kicked a couple. Gee, the Bombers need this to break a run of 6 consecutive Carlton goals, and he delivers. Margin back out to 19 points. Matthew Lloyd, the captain, has 3. And again, there's a bit of argy-bargy. And we look at the front-on vision. That's free kick in anyone's language, Rob Walls.
It didn't look good, did it? It didn't look good, and that's something the young fella has to learn. Just use your body, get your arms out of the way of the neck and the shoulders, and experienced players will push back onto you. Three goals to Lloyd. Career tally 776.
closing on Kevin Bartlett's 778. KB number 10 all time. Steadier for the Dons, more importantly. Ackland levering out the hand pass to no one. Simpson arrives. Mark Johnson protects the ball. Holding the ball. Well, probably fair enough. Carlton on the breakaway. Carazzo delivers to Favola, who will line up again. And all of a sudden, he's found the range. Well, it's not really consistent with the way in which the rule has been interpreted over the last 2 weekends, you'd have to say.
Highly consistent with what we saw in round 1, though.
Yeah, but that is ridiculous. That's not a free kick. The Essendon player, how can he possibly get rid of it? It's a most unusual grip of the footy, isn't it?
Yeah.
What Favola's got with the left hand high on the footy.
Nathan Brown, I think, pioneered that. It's growing in popularity. Favola kicks his fourth, and the Blues are still thereabouts. Just get the feeling the game has got away from the umpires a little bit, and that was a decision that just really flew in the face of what's been happening over the last fortnight.
Yeah, no question about that. And also the decision to allow the Carlton player to play on, also a little bizarre. Lights on at the MCG, and we've got a game of football despite the Blues trailing by 48 points deep into the second quarter. The margin has been cut to 13. David Hill prepares to go to battle again against Kane Ackland. Third man up, Houlihan. Whitnell getting involved. Kicks it high inside, attacking 50. Fletcher in good position. He was held by Lappin, no free kick. Monfries, but look at the numbers swarming by the Blues. 4-on-1 there initially. Bentic's got it. Wrapped up. Get a bounce.
Which is a going in hard, Carlton. Since quarter time, tackles 32-18 in favour of the Blues. Got belted in the first quarter, Carlton. Since then, they've had a real go.
Michael uncontested to Murphy, to Favola, to the dangerous spot. Ackland forced to spoil, coming through. Oh, Russell was held. Betts. Touched on the line. Oh.
Fletcher gives to Stanton, keeps it wide, might be reflective of the Essendon mindset right now. Monfries over the top to Watson. Bombers need some steadiness here. Carlton throwing everything at them. Monfries back to Watson. There is not an easy Essendon kick now. Carazzo pinched it just for a moment. There'll be a ball up this time.
You've got to admire the Blues, the way they've recovered after that onslaught by the Bombers in the first quarter. They're tackling pressure, particularly through midway or deep into the second term, and particularly in the third term, has been phenomenal.
The extraordinary thing is not that they've come back alone, but how quickly they've done it. Here go the Dons. Watson hoping for Lloyd. It was an indeterminate kick, and O'Halpin will need to get it off here. Oh, he's got some confidence, the Irishman, and he's given Carlton a chance. He's found Whitnell. Can he hit the target? Not quite. Favola. Pressure from the Bomber defence. Essendon hold up. Hill. Now Lovett. And on the rebound, Essendon could do some damage, but that's a poor kick too. And the Dons' wonderful early confidence has evaporated. Scotland to Whitnell. All roads lead to Lance. And that's a clever little kick off the instep. That was a glorious delivery. Fisher from a long way goes for Stevens. Favola's lurking. So is Betts. Betts again. Clever. Lappin. Ackland. Can he get it onto his boot? He did everything but. Oh, and he's blown it.
He staged.
The Bombers survive. Peveril. Now Watson versus Bentic. Bentic wins. Houlihan a chance. He is a very good kick. He just misses. The margin is 11.
Kane Ackland made a meal of it in the goal square. In frustration, he's just thrown himself on the deck. Here he is.
Now,
gets a kick inside. He's dropped it. He's fumbled.
I'll tell you what, he was charged front on though.
Yeah, maybe there was a free kick there, but you wouldn't know with the umpires today.
Winderling. The Bombers under siege as McPhee from half back. Good kick. Mark taken by Stanton. Stanton out towards Lovett, who marks. 45 from goal. They need a steadier, the Bombers. Lovett's kick 3. And has been busy coming in for disposal, number 13. Not an easy opportunity. Will kick from just inside 50. Angle you can see. It's close, just missing to the right. So Carlton fans breathe a huge sigh of relief.
And there's Simpson. He is still kickless in general play. Lance coming into it, playing as a ruckman. Ackland down in the goal square. Ackland will do the centre bounces. Stevens has played this quarter as a permanent half forward. That means Stevens is going to be full of run come the last quarter.
This is Gibbs. Bombers by just 12 points. Walker from behind.
Loves the leap, doesn't he?
Just didn't have the run at that to be able to launch himself. Carlton side of the wing.
There's Stevens playing as a permanent half-forward flanker. Whitnell in the ruck should get beaten.
But Stevens roved it beautifully to Gibbs. Sold the dummy. Oh, there's a hole in the Essendon defence like a barn door. And Fisher slots it home. And the margin is one straight kick. Unbelievable comeback. 28 minutes into the second quarter. Essendon led by 48 points.
Well, no one wants to take responsibility for Fisher. Even now, there's not an Essendon player near him. Now, Fisher, who kicked that last goal, marked unopposed in the forward 50. Not one Essendon defender wanted to take responsibility for him. They still don't. And finally, McPhee says, well, I guess I better come out and take him.
This is an amazing comeback by the Blues. Hill decisively to Watson, who threads it towards Stanton. Stevens desperate. Essendon free kick. Mark Johnson. Stanton will knocked over by Carazzo. Lucky kick out wide. Lucas starved of opportunities in the third quarter. Houlihan in trouble. Got it to Thornton. Now Russell got a bad bounce. Look out, here's Lovett. Good tackle though by Russell. Redeemed himself very well and has earned the free kick.
It was a great tackle by Russell. And gee, they have got the momentum. In some ways, Kevin Sheedy could send a message out to his boys. If you get it, just play keepings off for 2 minutes to stop this roll that Carlton have got.
Bentic with the footy. Carlton have kicked 5 goals to 1 in this quarter after a 6-goal second term. Soaring effort, Winderlich. Dyson had it but lost it. Simpson bravely for a man with a gash in his head. A ball up. Right now, you'd have your money on the Blues.
Well, Ackland's come off. That puts Cameron Cloak on. He's sneaked on. He's going around the boundary line down towards the goal square for Carlton. He's a bit big to hide. Poor old Lance has got to do the ruck work.
Hill winning them, but Essendon not necessarily winning the takeaways.
Chris, I reckon it's a good move to get Whitnell into the action like that.
Yeah, fantastic move, and he's made a difference, no question about that. And they just need to hold firm here in the ruck contest and try and draw level. And Carlton players at ground level need to be aware that David Hill will 9 times out of 10 win the ruck contest. Third man up, that's useful. Gibbs. Well done, Watson. Oh, he had a chance to get rid of it, didn't. Well done, Bentic. Off to Whitnell. Wouldn't this be a crowd lifter? Whitnell from 50. He's kicked. Oh, behind. Gee, wouldn't that have brought the house down? Margin back to just 5 points.
And Whitnell is in the game. Lovely long ball, Fletcher to Hill. A goal would have Carlton in front with, well, more than a third of this quarter still left. But I repeat, Essendon led by 48 points at the 28-minute mark of the second term. Hill kicks it straight to O'Halpin. O'Halpin having a feisty contest with Matthew Lloyd, but he hasn't been disgraced at all. He's shown tremendous confidence and pluck, and he did it beautifully then. Cloak off to Gibbs. Carlton could be in front in a moment. Favola has the sit here with Fletcher. Hard man to beat Fletcher. Two of them down and hurt. Carazzo, was he taken high? No, he wasn't. Betts certainly wasn't. Two of them still down. Hurd has the ball. I wonder how that might impact on the match. Bad miss Slattery. Simpson now for the Blues. Oh, Fisher. Poor pass from Simpson. Michael to Hurd to Dyson. The casualties are picking themselves up. Mark Johnson, I think, was one of them. He gives to Michael. Now Slattery. Now McPhee as the Bombers try and regain their sanity.
Favola hands on knees, but looks in
He'll be okay.
little trouble.
He'll be okay.
Got a hard head.
Kate Simpson, not used to getting the footy today, missed the target from 15 metres, which would have seen another Carlton goal. Stanton, Dyson. What can the Bombers muster? Long. Lucas in good position. Double teamed. Thornton. Sweeping handball. Wait. Has to sit and wait, but he's got plenty of time, or has he? Great tackle from Ryder. Play on's the call.
Essendon players have stopped.
And Simpson now, this time he finds the target in Cameron Cloak, who's taken a couple of nice marks in the last minute. O'Halpin. Run provided by Murphy. Murphy towards Favola.
15 inside 50s this quarter, 15-6, and Fev, if you kick this goal, you are a star. Here was just absolutely poleaxed.
Now, why wasn't that holding the ball? You've got to ask. The umpires have had no coherence about their performance today.
It was holding the ball. It was an Essendon free kick, and the Essendon players stopped because they believed it was their ball.
Well, Brendan Favola, incredibly, can put Carlton in front with a straight kick here. They trailed by 48 points deep into the second term. Favola kicks and goals. The Blues are in front of the MCG, and who would have thought a dramatic turnaround, and their fans stand and applaud, and Lance Whitnell's played a leading hand.
Lance has been terrific this quarter, given a run in the ruck, got plenty of it. Here's the clash. Oh, Mark Johnson, Brendan Favola, eyes only for the footy, both of them. Cameron Cloak's been good since he's come on, a couple of marks, handball assists, and the Murphy pass is a beauty. And I tell you what, Mel Michael will always be in trouble on a leading forward because Mel plays always from behind.
And just a few raindrops starting to fall here at the G, lads. Very light at the moment, but they're starting to fall.
Interesting one. Mike Johnson coming back with the flight. Did seem to be going for the ball, which would be in his favour in any assessment of that. Watson puts Essendon forward. Carlton have gone early here. They've come back and hit the front. Still about 1,000 metres from home. Scotland kicks to Houlihan. And back to Scotland. Carlton running above the MCG turf. Heath Scotland scorching it down the southern side. That's a lovely left foot ball. That was a magnificent kick on the end of a long run by Scotland.
Great call, Tim. A magnificent passage of play. The kick was perfect. Mel Michael in big trouble because he will always play from behind, and a leading forward can cut him up, gives front position away, and when the ball's delivered like that and you've got a bloke with big shoulders and big hands and a big heart, well, you're going to pay a penalty. This could be number 6.
He's kicked 5 since late in the second quarter. 3 in this term. Suddenly, he's on fire. And suddenly, the Blues lead by 7 points. An incredible turnaround. And Carlton playing with enormous confidence now. Reflected in that effort by Heath Scotland. Glorious skills. Favola 6 goals.
Brendan Favola 6 goals, and he's got a new opponent. Dustin Fletcher. Kevin Cherney said to his old pro, Get back there and do the job. Now Mel Michaels come up. Mel Michaels come up to centre half back on Lance Whitnell. That's a worry for Mel because I reckon he'll blow up playing that far upfield.
Unbelievable. Carlton have kicked 10 of the last 11 goals. Brilliant ruck work from Cloak to Murphy. Favola at the side. Has he got the best recovery? Well done by Fletcher. Just soccers it haphazardly. Well done by Stanton. Slipped it to Mark Johnson. Now to Dyson. Little left foot toe poke. Here's effective. Low down taken by McVeigh. He's got a loose player at half forward. But good pressure on the mark by Russell prevented him from getting up and delivering. Laycock. Big challenge now for Essendon. Can they come back and reassert themselves here? Watson, little toe poke is okay. And the mark's taken by Lucas, who's been very quiet in this third quarter, and that's because the Bombers haven't had it down in their forward line at all.
Well, since quarter time, Essendon have kicked 6 goals. Carlton's kicked 13.
So Scott Lucas has been inaccurate today. 3 goals, 5. 3 goals, 5 to Scott Lucas.
There's a goal in it. There's a unique chemistry in the contests between these two clubs. When Carlton were winning premierships in the early 1980s, they could not beat Essendon. In recent years, Essendon have finished above Carlton year after year, and yet Carlton win more than they lose against the Dons. You never know what's going to happen next. Here's Wiggins, and the Blues are running free again. Walker into an open 50, but straight to either McPhee or Fletcher.
And Fletcher playing 8-10 metres in front of Favola.
And that's the difference, and that's created that situation where McPhee was able to come across and take a comfortable mark, and if he wasn't there, Fletcher was certainly next in line.
The Dons led by 30 points at half-time. We're a couple of minutes out from the last change, and it is Carlton leading by a goal. Michael with room to move there and play on, but didn't want to go. Couldn't see a target. Now Fletcher. A goal either way would be very telling late in this term. Not a bad placement towards Ryder, but it was a good spoil for the Blues from Jared Waite.
They're up, Carlton. I'm looking at Houlihan, who's 60 metres from the action, clapping the Waite effort. Houlihan playing in the back pocket now for Carlton on James Hird.
Boundary throw in. Oh, gee, Laycock up and interferes against Whitnell. No.
It's a go. Lance put the shepherd on. Lance went under him. Lance took his feet. The umpire got it wrong. Have a look at Lance. Have a look at Lance. He looked at his opponent. Now he's going to go under him. And that's a dangerous thing to do. It's certainly a free kick, but Laycock's shaken up.
So Laycock with the footy. On centre wing, that's what's ahead of him. Lucas, got a better couple. Simpson feeds it back. And Thornton now can clear from half back. Good kick onto the chest of Walker.
Fletcher still 10 metres in front of Favola.
Wiggins was loose at half forward for a moment. There's Favola. Long kick. And it's all Essendon, and all those spills towards the back. Eddie Betts or Fletcher hacks it out of midair.
He's done that all his career.
Boundary line. And the other great advantage,
was it deliberate?
The other great advantage of playing 10 metres in front is you actually dissuade the full forward from leading. Now, Favola didn't lead there when he would have if Mel Michael was playing for him, and therefore didn't provide a target for the Blues midfield.
Great example of what's happening. Fletcher just setting up camp in front of Fev.
Wiggins. Simpson getting involved now, Kade Simpson. Can he find a target out wide? Fisher low down marks. The Blues pressing hard here as we get close to three-quarter time. Over the top, Simpson kept going and he's got it.
Well, he's run himself into the game, Kade Simpson. I've watched him closely because he's one of my favourite Carlton players. Made himself into a really good player on the wing. Had a horror first half, but has run and competed and has picked himself up quite a few possessions in this third quarter. Won't suit his left foot, this shot for goal.
Well, inside 10 seconds now. This will be the last play of the quarter. From deep in the pocket. Just misses. And three-quarter time. And the Carlton fans will stand to applaud their Chargers. A wonderful comeback, trailing by 30 points at halftime. They'll go into the final quarter leading by 7.
Well, Dennis Pagan, well done. Carlton supporters on their feet. They're clapping, they're cheering, they're waving the flags. There's Satanda O'Halpin coming in from full back. But Dennis Pagan put Stevens in the forward line, used Whitnell in the ruck, had Houlihan come from a half-back flank, moved Waite back to centre half-back, Houlihan into the centre, which was good. And all of the moves have worked. Who would have believed that Carlton would be in front at this stage of the game?
The Dons could have been 10 and 11 goals in front during the first quarter and a half of this game, and now they have some work to be done after perhaps doing some three-quarter time soul searching. Joe Watson's the interesting one among the fresh legs. We saw him in games last year really get active in the last quarter.
And this battle's been going on all afternoon. Satanda O'Halpin taking it to the Essendon captain and really giving it to him. And it's been an enthralling battle, but he hasn't taken a backward step, the big Irishman.
Have a look at the size of him. He's a head taller than Lloyd. He's a big fella. He's quick. He only played about 15 games of senior football. He's going to be a beauty.
Final quarter underway at the MCG. The Blues lead by 7 points. Laycock down to Hurd, and Hurd earns the free kick. 22 disposals. Leading possession winner for the Bombers, James Hurd. High off a step, Scotland courageously getting in front, and he marks at half-back.
He was courageous. He was courageous. He helped out our helping there by getting in front. And this is the bloke, Houlihan and Stevens, who've lifted Carlton.
He kicks it to Houlihan. Russell takes Hurd on. Good play from Jordan Russell. Kick high, up and under. Fletcher playing in front. Had it covered, but Laycock drifting back, marks for the Bombers.
To Winderlich, to Hurd. The Dons don't want to concede the first goal here. It's uphill from there if they do. Winderlich. And Essendon are a bit of a chance here. Stanton finding Lloyd. Now, he'll have to kick this from outside 50. Testing range. Wrong side for a left footer. There's a lot not to like about this position for him. He's kicked 3, 1 in each quarter. He's the captain. This is a moment for a relatively young captain in captaincy terms. This would be a lifter. Strong off the boot, but across the face. And the margin is now 1 straight kick. Lloyd has 3 goals, 3.
So at fullback, kick comes in from Simpson to Carazzo. Deep inside defensive 50. Kick out wide to Murphy, who's played very well, coming in for 18 disposals, and good kick, Wiggins on the southern wing.
Again, Stevens playing as a permanent forward.
And he's one out here with Winderlich. Winderlich did him, and use of the body, watching and focusing on the ball, was able to take the mark. Transfers play across the ground. Lucas, a long way from home. 3 goals, 5 this afternoon for Scotty Lucas. Awkward looking kick. Davey has to sit and wait, but now finds himself in space all of a sudden. Sets it up, McPhee with the sit, and almost couldn't quite take the mark. Davey slides in. Was he taken high? No, Scotland kept his head. Thornton waits, sweeps the handball to Houlihan, who's got his captain Whitnell at half-back for the Blues.
As the Blues were queuing up, Lance is so confident now he's gone for a run. And that's a neat little pass, well delivered. Wiggins, too far out, puts it to a spot for Favola, just beyond him though. Cleverly done, Favola to Bentic to Stevens. Man on the mark, just inside 50, and Stevens, by the look of him, wants to give it off.
Well, Stevens' opponent for 3 quarters has been Damien Peveril. Now it's Winderlich.
Standing in the last of the sunshine at the punt road end of the ground from 50. It's a good kick. It is a mighty kick, and the Blues lead by 2 goals. That is a big goal in every sense.
Good play here by Favola. Draws 2, unloads with quick hands, and sets up the Carlton goal.
So Carlton with the first goal of the final term, and the margin out to 12 points. They've kicked 11 of the last 12 goals in the game. Hurd tries to knock it forward, does. Laycock, Stanton, Leroy Jetta just on the ground. Back to Stanton, chance for a quick reply, and Stanton tugs it left. So nothing going right for the Bombers at the moment. The margin 11 points.
We're going to find out a bit about Essendon over the next 20 minutes or so. They knocked off 2 of last year's preliminary finalists in the first 2 weeks. They're against the wooden spooner here. Carlton have made a mess of this. Davey now, well tackled and through that surely. Mark Johnson to nothing.
Yeah, that's a poor kick, poor option. A couple of Essendon smaller players in Jetta and Davey have just been knocked around by the hard tackling of the Blues.
Gibbs goes wide. Leroy Jetta hasn't had an impact today. Still time. That was a very strong tackle by Waite. Davies hand pass, just passing muster. Cloak rucking. Winderlich been pretty good for the Dons. Stanton standing his ground. Walker over the top. Stanton did pretty well. Peveril and Bentic from opposite directions. Simpson to Stevens. Carlton on the break. If they get the next goal, they're going to be very hard to mow down for Vola. Fletcher with him covered. Now Waite.
Oh, where's your left foot? His father Vinny had a left foot.
He didn't have a right one, Vinny.
No.
Carlton by 13 points.
Well, between them, they're going okay.
Pressure well and truly on the Bombers as Mark Johnson finds Dyson, who came into the side as a late replacement for Nathan Lovett-Murray. And he chips it over the top. Heffernan. Fletcher now released from half-back. Across the ground. Hurd gathers on the bounce, slips the Bentic tackle. Kicks it high towards half-forward. Scotland in good position again. Over the top. Satanta takes a big one.
It's a beauty.
Houlihan. Scotland to Waite, back to Scotland, who's been influential in the second half. Kick off the side of his boot. They've got the 2-on-1 here, the Blues. If Walker can keep it in. No, boundary throw in.
Pete Scotland's been really good. Look, he's prepared to get back and help out. There he didn't need the help because our Halpin came over the top, but played with a lot of courage and nous has Heath Scotland.
And I'll tell you, I reckon O'Halpin has been one of the most important players on the ground. He has set the example for Carlton. Houlihan puts them forward. Fisher and McPhee. McPhee prevails. It was touch and go and Carlton fans aren't happy. Now Hurd.
Cameron Cloak is in a bit of trouble. Got an accidental knock to the jaw. Shook him up a bit.
The Bombers have got to start doing some scoring. Elwyn Davey.
Hurd off, Watson on. Been happening all game.
Once upon a time, James Hurd was the go-to man in this situation well. Bryce Gibbs arriving and making the spoil on Lucas. And a ball that Essendon had under control is suddenly 50-50. Cameron Cloak a little while ago. A head clash. Nasty one.
Gibbs scrambles it forward from the pack. Michael couldn't quite get there. Now he does. He's running out of room. Does he keep it in? Yes, he does.
Called late. Very late.
Well, that was called.
I don't think
by
the field umpire. It was called by the field umpire, not the boundary umpire.
Yeah, the field umpire saw it was out of bounds. The boundary umpire didn't. Common sense prevails.
Yeah. Boundary throw in. Laycock gets to the front. Couldn't get boot to ball. Peveril, Bentic, Carazzo. He's deep in the pocket. Is able to straighten up, but didn't kick it well enough. So margin 15 points.
Yes, Essendon needs some run, and they just haven't been able to get any run. You know, Jetta hasn't had much of it. Davey hasn't had much. Love it. Winderlich's now playing as a defender.
Winderlich to Dyson. Through the middle they go. Love it. And this looks a little better. Jetta though with Waite. Can he get out of there? He gets the high tackle. He'll line them up.
It was clearly high. Yes, he was. I didn't make contact till he actually got on the ground when he
Not too much doubt about that. And young Leroy already knows how to milk a free kick, but it was there.
Chris, did you say Carlton's kicked 11 of the last 12?
Correct. Unbelievable. They kicked the last 3 of the second term and kicked 7 of the 8 goals kicked in the third term, and plus the opening goal of this quarter.
The Bombers are 3 kicks down. 18-year-old Leroy Jetta cuts it to 12 points.
And just as that was happening, Tim, Lance Whitnall's come off for a spell. Josh Kennedy back onto the ground.
So the Blues get that second ball off the ground before Simpson kicks in. And he does. Bentic. 12 points to the margin. Bentic now decides to take off. 32 scoring shots to the Bombers, 29 to Carlton. Scotland. Murphy running in support. Plenty of time for Heath Scotland. Gee, he runs a long way from hard up against the line, kicks towards Fisher, who couldn't quite
Free kick, Fisher got
take
pushed.
the mark, but pushed front on by McPhee, so he gets it at half-forward southern side.
Laycock getting down in front of Favola.
Got all the answers at the moment, Carlton. Carazzo, 60 from goal, kicks it to the hot spot, top of the goal square. Favola with the set and almost the mark. Couldn't quite hold on. Cameron Coate. Now Dyson, he's got some speed. Gets a good shepherd from Lovett. And finds McVeigh on centre wing. Now they can set something up here, the Bombers. He's put down McVeigh. Relay free kick. Winderlick will want to play on. Davies free inside the 50. Davies got it. He'll run. He runs to 20. Alwyn Davey kicks a beauty. And the Bombers are back. Alwyn Davey has kicked his first of the afternoon, and the margin is back to 6 points.
Winderlick, good play to break from defence, get out to the wing, set that up, provide a target.
Alwyn Davey pulls the Dons to within a goal. Whitnell and Walker on the bench.
Lucas off for Essendon. And they've got Paddy Ryder going forward, and also McVeigh. McVeigh spent most of this game in the back half of the Bombers. Kevin Sheedy making quite a few changes.
Good takeaway by the Blues, and Murphy knows how to use the ball. He misses. The Blues lead by 7 points. The last time they met in home and away competition, these two teams played a draw in round 16 last year.
Monfries, Peverill. Heard with the sit here. Well done by Simpson. Put his body in. Slattery tackled. Coming through, Russell did well. Little give to Gibbs, who fumbles. Advantage played. Murphy, Carazzo, long to the hot spot. Favola with the sit here. Off to Rod Stevens, and he misses. Gee. And Favola is cursing himself
As well
for
he
giving
might.
it.
As well he might. 20 metres out, won't take a risk.
Here it is again.
Geez, he set the jump up well, didn't he? Just jumped a little bit early, got the knees into Fletcher.
Why give it to a player on his non-preferred side when you can have a set shot from 20 metres? Lappin for the Blues as they come again. Michael with the chance to hammer it away. Favola just not quite getting it strongly enough. Heffernan, well done, saved the day for the Dons. It looked grim for a moment. Winderlick now, slicing through the middle. That's a beautiful kick for Laycock.
Winderlick, fantastic, set up these last 2 attacks for Essendon.
Oh, the big Tasmanian into the man on the mark. Well done in the end, and he turns it over. This is unbelievable. No one knows how to win it. Simpson clearing. Winderlick got a share, but no, he didn't.
He had the punch there. Winderlick must punch from behind.
Outmarked by Eddie Banks for Murphy.
Murphy now in the centre of the MCG. Feeds it wide. Carazzo couldn't hold on. Keeps his feet brilliantly though. Shakes the Herd tackle. Carazzo around Mark Johnson. Well played, young man. Now Russell. Well tackled by Slattery. And what's the free kick? It's going to the Bombers.
Mark Murphy getting a lot of the ball in the midfield for Carlton. Peveril, his opponent, has to tighten up.
Slattery gives it to Hurd, who delivers to Jetta. Leroy Jetta's got blistering speed, doesn't use it, kicks long instead. Oh! Is that mark of the year from Mark McVeigh? Spectacular stuff, 25 metres from goal.
This fella has played with a will today. He has used his hands.
Yes, he did. It's a free kick. It should have been a free kick to Thornton, and we talked about the inconsistency at the start. And that's the great tragedy of this new rule, because we don't see marks like that under the new ruling. And that was incidental contact.
Well, they've paid the mark.
Well, that's right. Well, they made a mistake. McVeigh kicks a goal.
I don't want to see that mark taken out of the game. But the way the umpires have been instructed, that should be a free kick.
Exactly right.
It went against Houlihan, the hand in the back. Now that is sensational, and we don't want to lose that. But the umpires have got to give us some consistency. The players, the supporters, the sponsors, because we're not getting it.
This is a mad game of football. To say that it's all happening would be a major understatement. The margin is 2 points. A lot of time left yet. Carlton still in front. Hurd trying to summon the strength and power of youth. Hill now. Essendon look for the lead again. O'Halpin leads Lloyd to the ball. He has been brave. But Lloyd to Davey. Wayward kick. Carlton free. Lappin to take it. Blues cling to a 2-point lead.
64,710 people here at the MCG. Over 70,000 last night for the big clash between Collingwood and Richmond. As Matthew Lappin kicks it long. Hill stands firm, stands tall and marks at half forward.
No Michael in the centre of the ground on Andrew Walker. That's a worry for Kevin Sheedy. Walker will just run rings around him.
David Hill off the side of the boot towards half forward. Oh, good mark taken by Scotland. We've seen him do that a few times today. He plays on. Oh, look out, he's in real trouble here. He's in real trouble now. The umpire said he got a handball away. Picked up by Russell.
They were lucky, Carlton.
Wait. Back to Russell. Short. Okay, Carazzo, who's been busy across half forward for the Blues. Now Whitnell is one out. He leads hard and strong and gets it.
Favola.
Favola.
Good kick off about 1.5 steps, that one. Now, was this holding the ball? Did he get a handball? The umpire said he got a handball. Maybe he did.
So Brendan Favola, who was goalless at the 28-minute mark of the second term, has 6 to his name. 2 late in the second quarter, 4 in a wonderful display of full forward play in the third quarter.
He's taken 9 marks inside the 50.
To extend the Carlton lead, and he pings it through. It's kick 7. So the Blues have all the answers at the moment. 17 minutes into this final term with Favola's 7th. The margin is back out to 8 points.
Isn't it fantastic being a supporter? The elation, the despair, you get it all.
Seven goals in under a half of football to Brendan Favola. And the great Goliaths of the game, Carlton and Essendon, 16 premierships each, are staging one of their most memorable shootouts at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. The Blues have climbed out of the grave. They're not home yet. If they kick the next, they'll be nearly there. McPhee's got it for the Dons. The Dons have been back in the contest in the last 7 or 8 minutes. Peveril. Good kick for Monfries. Didn't do enough to be paid the mark. And Carlton have numbers. Simpson mown down. Monfries again. Now Jetta ran into a wall. McVeigh, who took that magnificent mark a little while ago. That's not a bad kick. And Matthew Lloyd is well within range.
McVeigh moved forward. It's been a beauty. They desperately needed to get something. They've taken Lucas, who was red hot early, was taken from the field in this quarter. He's back on now, but they just haven't had a spark up forward. And McVeigh has given them that.
Lloyd has 3. Just over 6 minutes left. The margin is 8 points. It's time for the captain to stand up. He's punted for the Masters, and he's nailed it. Margin 2 points.
Great tackle there from Slattery. And Jetta was able to get quick hands. McVeigh, great poise, had nowhere to go inside, and then a clever little kick around the body under the chest of his captain. Matthew Lloyd, a goal in each of the quarters. Kevin Sheedy looks on. Mel Michael off the ground. Matthew Lloyd 4 goals. Brendan Favola 7 for the Blues. Back in the centre. Hill beaten by Ackland, who scrambles it forward. McPhee, Lappin, all tackle, gives it off. Fisher. Here comes Walker. Walker can put the Blues. Oh, he's missed. 3 points. He could have put them 8 points to the good. They lead by 3 now.
The 2 winningest teams in history, and neither one quite knows how to win just now. What a game. Carlton by 3 points. Fletcher's been heroic back there. He delivers well here to Stanton. Now to McPhee. And the Bombers, in a sense, perhaps advantage now coming from behind. Carlton trying to protect a lead. McVeigh almost enough. Gee, it was a good try. Fisher for Carlton. Been handy up forward. Houlihan outstanding. Fisher again. Bombers can't get it off them at the moment. Keeping them wide. Murphy. What a thinking young player he is with a deadly foot. Now Bentic. Sitting it up. Favola. Fletcher needs to be good. Favola has got it.
He has marked it. I don't know if you've ever seen a better half of football played by a forward as what we've seen from Brendan Favola in the 3rd and 4th quarters here at the MCG. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 goals he's kicked in the second half. 7 for the game.
Bear in mind that he got his first at about this stage of the second quarter. So, effectively, if he kicks this, it's 8 goals in a half of footy. Extraordinary performance. He's done it. The Blues by 9.
And not only has he kicked 8 goals, his first 2 shots for goal in the first quarter were as bad of kicks as you've ever seen from him, and he's just worked his way back into it. And this has been an amazing game of football. Essendon have got young Paddy Ryder in the ruck. No Hill, no Laycock up against Kane Ackland.
Well, time now an issue for the Bombers.
And Lance back on Chris O.
Okay. Thanks, Andy. McVeigh in the centre square now. Off to Hurd, who's tried very hard. They need a mark here. Lloyd at the back. Oh, an easy goal here for Alan Davey. Gives it to his captain. Lloyd kicks his 5th. Pretty easy stuff.
All comes from the centre bounce with McVeigh and Hurd, 2 veterans. And you can just see under the footy there, the 2 Carlton players. Spills over the back, but it was McVeigh, who's in at the centre bounce, who fed the handball to Hurd that set it up. That man there has been fantastic for Essendon.
Matthew Lloyd joins Kevin Bartlett at number 10 on the all-time goal-kicking list with his 778th. We are into the last 5 minutes. The Blues lead by 3 points. This has an eerie resemblance to that 1999 preliminary final.
In their history, they've had 4 drawn games. That goes back over 100 years.
Ackland for Carlton. Ryder rocking and rolling. McPhee, a beautiful hand pass. Dyson couldn't take it with him. Hurd held up. So was Betts. So was Dyson.
It's frantic, isn't it?
It sure is.
It is frantic. Ackland sneaked forward for Carlton and nobody knows. Ackland's by himself in the forward 50.
Essendon need to win this more than Carlton. If Essendon lose it, it's catastrophic in a sense because they had the game won. There's a lot for Carlton in either victory or defeat on this. The Bombers needing a goal to get back in front. McVeigh, nervous kick. Peveril is a left footer. Under pressure to a contest. Lance couldn't get up. Lappin, was he pushed by Hurd? No free kick. Ball up.
He couldn't get up, Lance, could he? He had to fly, but he just couldn't get the legs off the ground.
Gee, Matty Lappin there thought he might have got a free kick against James Hurd.
Now Whitnell will have to do the ruck work against Ryder.
Gets in first as Lance knocks it towards Bentic. Getting there first McVeigh, who hacks it to the line. 25.5 minutes in, final term. Dennis Pagan frantic at the moment, but gee, be proud of the way his players have come back after a disastrous start to this match. Just repeating, 27 minutes into the second quarter, the Blues trail by 48 points. Ryder over the top. Waits. Ryder. Wait. Scrambles a spiral towards the pocket and over. So in a great position for Carlton, deep in the forward pocket.
Ackland will do the ruck work. Lance Whitnell will stay out of it. He'll stay a kick behind play.
Bombers need to work it clear and move it. It's at the right end of the ground for the Blues. Ackland a hand on it. Murphy on the non-preferred, straightens and misses. So it's Essendon's ball now. 4 points the margin. Dad tells the son how long there is to go. Peveril releasing Heffernan, and the Bombers are a chance. Lloyd comes away from goal and collects near the wing and gives it to Lovett. Can he go all the way? He might. He's within range. Can he put them in front? He misses. The Blues by 3.
Gee, heartbreaking stuff. Scotland's kick was touched right on the line by Lance Whitnell.
James Hurd willing himself to every stoppage.
27.25 minutes played. Ryder reaches over. Stevens to Wait. Scrambles it forward. And then the ball beats Walker, so a boundary throw in on the northern wing. Time ticking away. 3 points the difference.
Whitnell just can't afford to give away a free kick. He's undersized in the ruck against Ryder. Get in front and do your job. Well done.
He does. Gets it to Stevens. Couldn't gather. Carrazza has been very good. Around the body, high towards half forward, but Stanton the only player there for the Bombers. Now, can they break from this? Not much movement, not much run left in the Essendon legs. McPhee. Out. Davey breaks now. That's ignored. You need to get on with it more quicker than this. It's called to play on. McPhee with a bounce. Just kicks it long. Mark Johnson's got to sit and wait. Lappin did superbly. Cutting across, then thumping it over the line for a boundary throw in.
This crowd has been entertained to one of the most exciting games you could wish for. Rivalry round.
Well, hasn't it lived up to the billing? I think the Carlton voices have outnumbered the Bomber ones. Cloak the hand on the ball. Peveril. Hurd desperately trying to knock it on, but the Blues tie it up.
Cameron Cloak on, Lance Whitnell off. Cloak will do the ruck work. I reckon it's a good move because Lance, he's just about spent.
There can't be long left. A goal would win it for the Bombers. Ryder working it on. Lloyd. Heffernan needed clean hands. Davey, love it, missed a moment ago. Got to get rid of it. Gone. Holding the ball. O'Halpin's footy for the Blues. Now does the Irishman...
He's been told to slow things down and he's taken it literally.
Does he know what to do with it?
Well, a big roost.
He thumps it low. He's got a target. Cloak on the wing. Couldn't hold on. Mark Johnson left it behind. Oh, gee, it was interfered with. No free kick. Carazzo ducks the Slattery tackle.
I think he's knocked
Kicks it
out.
towards Wait. Oh, great chase down McVeigh. Great stuff. Advantage paid. Winderlich.
Cameron Cloak in real trouble. He's got up. He can't stay on his feet.
Jetta. Lloyd. Then can't be too low left for the Bombers. Matthew Lloyd, a kick and a half from goal. Kicks it into the pocket. Oh, great stuff down there by Russell. Houlihan, and he relieves the pressure. And that's it! That's it! Carlton's greatest ever come from behind victory. What a performance by the Blues. Brendan Favola kicks it, and Carlton, the most remarkable victory of their history.
It's like a final for the Blues, and it brings back not too distant memories. Carlton against the odds, against the scoreboard, from 48 points down, have scored a famous win, and for the Bombers there is despair. This was the unlosable and they've lost it. Andrew Marr with the man of the moment.
Thanks very much, Tim. How did you do that? How did you win that game of footy?
I don't know, mate. We've changed as a group. We got smashed last week. They smashed us in the first quarter and a half, and it was like we're back in the old Carlton days. And I don't know, we just got to believe that we can come back from anywhere, and we showed it. We did it.
Club's never won from 48 points down. You feel that this is a group that might start writing its own history, everything that you've been through in the last couple of years?
Yeah, no doubt. We're going to start writing our own history. It's going to take time, but that's just a little step. We've won 2 now. We only won 3 last week, and we take on the Premiers next week in West Coast over there. And we gave them pretty good money last time over there, so pretty good run, sorry for their money. And hopefully we can go over there and shock a few people.
And you couldn't buy one early, but when the pressure was on, you couldn't miss.
No, I had the yips, but after half time I kicked straight, which was lucky.
How are you feeling right now?
I'm stoked, mate.
Well done, well done. Back to you, boys.
What happened, Robert Walls?
Well, what happened? Dennis Pagan at half-time made some very telling moves. Houlihan into the midfield. Stevens as a permanent forward for a while. Jared Waite back to the back line, but Thornton in particular went to centre-half back and controlled a rampaging Lucas. Lance Whitnell was given some freedom to have a run in the ruck, and I think Favola is an absolute star and showed that, and also O'Halpin. But typical of the Carlton spirit, I watched Cameron Cloak in the last minute of play. He got knocked out for the second time. He got himself up, he ran 5 steps, he hit the ground. Didn't know where he was. He got himself up again, and he fell again, and he got himself up a 3rd time to fight his way through to the siren. I'm mighty proud of him.
One of Carlton's greatest wins by 3 points over Essendon.